Abubakar, please.
Mr. Speaker, my dear honorable colleagues, this is a very straightforward bill. A bill that is geared towards establishing the Nigerian Asset Management Agency that will be charged with the responsibility of managing and regulating all government assets, including but not limited to those seized, forfeited, or taken over by federal government security bodies such as EFCC, ICPC, the Customs, the Police, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, amongst others. Mr. Speaker, the good news about this bill that he has passed the second reading in the Senate, and here we are to do the needful. Mr. Speaker, this bill will ensure proper coordination and enforcement of all federal government asset management legal regimes and enforcement powers conferred on persons or authority. This bill will also realize optimum monetary returns from these assets in pursuance of the provisions of this bill. Mr. Speaker, amongst other things, this bill will also help in coordinating with other government agencies in realizing the true value of all our assets that are within and outside the shores of this country. Mr. Speaker, this bill is categorized into 6 parts. The first part of this bill basically covers sections 1 to 12, and it deals with the establishment of the agency, the board composition, the qualification and tenure and removal of office of the board members. The second part of this bill, Mr. Speaker, stretches from sections 13 to 15 and deals basically with the duties of the agencies when set up. The third part consists of sections 16 to 21 that deals with the establishment of the Secretariat, which deals with the day-to-day running of the agency if and when set up. The Secretariat will be divided into 5 departments, basically the Asset Registry Department, the Legal Department, the Research Department, the Administration and the Finance Department. Mr. Speaker, the fourth part of the bill comprises of Section 22, which deals with the legal proceedings against individuals, government agencies, or bodies that sell, misappropriate, damage, or destroy willfully any assets that are formally seized, forfeited, or taken over by the federal government. Mr. Speaker, Part 5 of the bill deals with the financial provisions under sections 23 to 31 of the proposed bill on how the agency will raise money, how they will receive gifts of land and other properties within and outside the country. The last part of this bill, Mr. Speaker, deals basically with the miscellaneous provisions of the proposed bill. And this indeed would help in arranging how the agency can receive information and prepare code of practice for its officers of the agency and the management standard for government assets and custodial management of government assets. Mr. Speaker,
Honorable Kaita, please keep quiet.
This bill will help to cure
Honorable Ahmed Babakaita, please.
Of current legal
Silence.
and regulatory framework for the management of federal government assets of Nigeria. Beyond that, it will also help in helping us to generate the much needed revenue which we all long for. Mr. Speaker, there is nothing as good as having a proper coordination and management of all our assets that are so scattered amongst government agencies. So it's my wish to plead with my colleagues to indeed support this bill and have it passed through the second reading. Thank you.
Hon Abubakar, I represent Ilorin East, Ilorin South Federal Constituency. Mr. Speaker, honorable colleagues, I'm from Kwara State. I want to align myself with people who have concerns about this bill I know the predominant intention of the mover of the bill is to make sure that you have proper monitoring of seized assets that have been concluded after all due verifications and turned over to the federal government. I agree with him that some of these assets are lying differently within and outside the country. And I appreciate the fact that there is a need to monitor and properly manage the assets so that the assets can actually be a source of revenue for the federal government. But this is in the legislature, and we have to be very mindful of our language. In the bill, it is said that, a bill for an act to establish and regulate the Nigerian Asset Management Agency charged with the responsibility of managing all government assets. Underline all government assets. I don't think there is a single agency that can manage all government assets. After managing all government assets, you now want to add, in addition, assets that are seized from EFCC, ICPC. My learned astute colleague has emphasized the fact that even seizures in EFCC have to be concluded. But I'm even talking about post-determination of the fact that there is legitimacy in the seizure. Then these assets can go to this company. I also agree with Honorable Betty that said that AMCON is dealing with seizures or assets or loans or bad debts as regards the financial institutions. That's a little bit myopic. That is true. We might need to look at the amendment of AMCON to have the capacity to also manage seizures from EFCC that have been concluded. But I don't think we can have one single agency. And I'm saying I still want this to go for second reading so that we don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. And I know that the time we call for all stakeholders, public hearing and everything, we give people an opportunity to fine-tune the bill. The objective, in my own opinion, as highlighted by Honorable Aman Pategi, should be focused on seized assets from corrupt practices and other allied matters. But to take one single agency, we have the capacity to manage all federal government assets. I think we must be, trying to create an impossible agency. So, in my own opinion, we should allow it to go for second reading, but make sure that we put this in mind so that we can fine-tune these issues. Thank you.
So I'll put the question, otherwise we'll not finish today. And the question is that the bill be now read a second time. Those in favor of the motion say aye. Those against it say nay. The ayes have it. Clerks invited to read the long title of the bill.
Honorable Speaker.